Hi everybody. Welcome back to Cinderella Phenomenon. I'm very glad you're all here with me to experience this. This is pretty great. Okay. Let's continue our adventure. Oh, so many fuzzy feelings. Okay. They both pause to look at me as I walk into the room. Well, well, if it isn't the princess. Took you long enough to come see us. Yeah, sorry, I was delayed. Me and Karma had to watch tutorials on YouTube. We had to get his highlighter just right. Annis told us you were unharmed. We're glad to see you safe, princess. So, how about telling us what happened? When prompted, I tell them everything that transpired in the alleyway. The two listen and only exchange a solemn glance when I'm done. Do you know something about all this that I don't? Why would the witches be after me in the first place? Thoughts. You remember what we said about the Tenebrarum corrupting witches? Well, those witches don't like seeing curses broken. They meddle where they can because they can. That's why I cast a glamour on you when you arrived here, so that you could remain hidden from magical eyes. I did it to protect you. To protect me? I feel like there's more of this that they're hiding, but I don't think any amount of convincing will get them to say anything. Forgive us, princess. We're not entirely sure what's going on either. Though, if it was a human that captured you, he must be working with witches somehow. Troublesome, to say the least. But we don't know the details yet. Give us some time to figure things out. Until we figure out who the man is and who he's working for, you need to have an escort with you out of the margin at all times. Do you understand? And once you figure it out, will you tell me? The two exchange another look, which only makes me more frustrated. They're obviously keeping secrets right in front of me. We'll tell you once everything falls into place. That was supposed to be Dolores' voice. Don't worry, princess. We never let you be put in any danger. Dots. The silence is what ends our conversation. I make my way back to my room, feet heavy. I feel like a fly caught in a spider web. I try my best to clear my mind as I return to my room. Ah! Hi! Hello! Oh, damn it. That was... Can I go back? I wanted to get a screenshot of that, but, like, it didn't work. Will it? Yeah! We'll screenshot that! Look at how pretty he is. Oh gosh, I love him. Days go by slowly, and I make no progress with my curse. Karma is busy with the knights today, and Delora and Parfait are busy talking with Rumpel and about his curse in his room. Wow, the bar looks so desolated. Tonight is the perfect night to go and wander the town by myself. Sophie! Didn't you learn anything? I need to see if I can find out anything about the witches and what's happening around the kingdom. No! No! Go find someone to go with you! Delora and Parfait are not going to tell me anything, and no one has wanted to take me out of the margin since the kidnapping attempt. These thoughts spiral helplessly in my mind as I sit at a table. I've just finished working for the day, and the activity in the margin is beginning to wind down. Garlan stands at the door as the last few customers leave the margin. Jurien is walking around the room to make sure there are no problems. Out of the corner of my eyes, I notice two men halfway across the room pause halfway across the room to glance back at her. I can overhear their words from where I am. Shame that she's a knight, eh? She's a proud type, too proud to let a man dote on her. Bleeding shame indeed. But if you think I tried to say something to her... But do you think if I tried to say, I can't read? You two. Oh. Ah! Garlan is suddenly standing behind the two men, an uncharacteristically dark glare on his face. Is there a problem? Doors are closing for the night. I'm gonna have to ask you to please leave. No need to be so uptight, lad. We're on our way out now. Two men walk out, and Garlan stands in the middle of the tavern area, glaring after them. I more or less pushed them out of the tavern. If Annis had seen that, she'd probably have scolded him. Garlan! Ugh. You okay? Of course. You think you can fool me? I've known you long enough to know that something's bothering you. Neither of the knights seem to notice me here. If they do, they ignore me. Jurien is still looking insistently at Garlan, who looks down at the floor. Oh. Maybe Jurien should do the confessing. I'm pretty sure that would work out in everyone's favor, just greatly so. Is he going to say something to her? Please say something to her! Garlan says nothing, though. He looks at a loss for words. Finally, Jurien reaches out and pokes his shoulder. He looks up, startled. Still the same as always, the silent, watchful knight. He looks so sad. Only says things with certainty when he knows they're the truth. Even the princess is waiting for you to say something. Both knights turn to look at me, and Garlan seems surprised. I raise an eyebrow at him, and he hurriedly looks away. Patrol is starting soon. I'll head out first. Okay. Stay safe. Garlan nods at her with a little smile before he leaves the tavern. Going to sleep soon, princess? I was just gonna head up. I stand up and get ready to move up to my room, but stop once more to look back at Jurien. Did you hear what those men were saying? Oh, about me being too proud or something? So she did hear them, but chose to say nothing. It doesn't bother me. They're right. I've been independent for a long time. I never think about pledging my safety to a man I barely know. I can take care of myself. Blunt and to the point, Jurien was really admired for that honesty in the palace. The only other men I've trusted before are my fellow knights. Oh, Garlan most of all, since we've always been partners. She does not explain any further. I decide that is for the better. Oh, I ship it! The sooner everyone is cleared out, the sooner I can leave. Tonight is the night I go looking for answers. Sophie, that's a bad idea. That's a terrible idea, Soph. Oh, hey, you have a cloak. Sorry, Karma. But I can handle myself. No, you can't. You have proven. I'm going to prove it tonight. Oh. I may not be able to fight, but I can still be cautious enough not to land myself in trouble. Says who? First of all, you're wearing a cloak out to the edge of your face. You're essentially wearing blinders. You have no peripheral vision. Still, do not happen to hear much of anything as I'm exploring the town tonight. Should have brought along some kind of weapon, but then I would have had to steal a knife from the kitchen. I'm not a thief. If you bring it back, it's just borrowing. Hours pass before I Hours pass. Oh, it is that. Okay, I can read. Before I pass a tavern filled with knights. Deciding that I will at least listen to what is happening at the palace, I linger by the open door and listen to what the men are saying. Hear that young Fritz is having a hard time of it. I feel bad for the lad. Even Sir Alcaster thinks he's gone mad. Well, he does keep talking about a princess that doesn't exist. Fritz still remembers me? But how? Because he's cursed! Even his father is growing weary of his babbling. Sir Mithras forced him on break the other day. He didn't seem happy. Well, Sir Mithras might think he's crazy too. Poor Fritz. Dots. Can you keep a secret? Knights look at each other and I lean as close as I possibly can. Apparently the boy spoke some truth, though Sir Alcaster doesn't quite believe it. He's looking for the daughter of the previous queen. The witch had a daughter? Was she a witch, or is this just a derogatory term? Previous queen? They talk about mother? How dare they call her a witch? Apparently she did, though I don't remember such a girl. This is top secret stuff. Just happened to wrestle this out of one of the lackeys looking for her. What would Sir Alcaster need this girl for? I'm assuming she's dangerous, that they want to get rid of her. Are they talking about me? I'm curious. How are we supposed to find this imaginary princess anyway? Does she have any features? Yeah, that described her features. Last man I went looking for her said she wore a special pendant around her neck. Ooh, you're gonna have to start wearing it under your clothes, girl. I should get out of here. I turn to leave the tavern, but my cloak snags on the door and falls to the floor, tripping me up in the process. I end up falling halfway into the tavern where the chatter abruptly stops. Is this... Oh, a lady. The knights that were talking approach me. One of them picks up my cloak. I attempt to grab the cloak from their fingers, but they pull it away from me and I stumble into one of them. Wow, what dicks. Madam. He moves to take my hand, but then he stops when he sees my face. Her face. And a necklace! You think she was spying on us? Witch! One of the knights grabs me by the wrist and pulls me toward him. He's far stronger than the man in the alleyway was. Yeah, because he's been training with heavy weapons. Unhand me right now. I am no witch. Then there should be no problem. We're just going to take you in, and if there's some big misunderstanding, we'll repay you ourselves, miss. No, let me go. This behavior is not fitting of a knight. Come on now, miss. Let's go back quietly. No. We're gonna fight. I'm not going to go gentle into that good knight. Good night. I may be outnumbered, but I cannot let myself be caught. Maybe the people at the bar will help me. I open my mouth to scream, but one of the knights covers my mouth as some attention falls on us. Nothing to fear here, everyone. Just a criminal we've apprehended. I struggle in their grasp, but the men are too strong for me. Don't fight back, man. Resistance is useless. No, it is not! We're gonna scream like we've never screamed before. Everyone in the bar looks scared of me. This is even worse than everyone glaring at me. I try to blink back the tears, but as they come into my eyes. Come on, let's take her to the palace. The knights lead me out onto the empty streets. Why? Why did I have to be so stubborn? The knights continue pulling me down the path until we come to a narrow street. Everyone who sees us walks away to avoid the knights. There's fear in their eyes. I've done nothing wrong! Ma'am, if it makes you feel any better, we're risking our rank on this as well. Then why? Why are you doing it? I don't know, I'm suspicious of... Who goes there? Oh, hell yeah. I look up and notice Karma's familiar figure walking toward us. I like his video game music he just got. That's cool. What's he doing here? Why isn't he in his disguise? Well, because he's more intimidating on patrol this way. Gentlemen, I ask you to unhand that woman. As a knight, I would be ashamed to be seen treating a lady so terribly. And who are you? Her husband. Aww. His what? Unhand her, gentlemen, or taste my blade. Sir, we were just going to take her to the palace to... I will give you on the count of 3. One knight keeps his grip on me as the other draws his sword. I stare at Karma, who continues to count, though the knight attacks him before his sword leaves his sheath. Karma and the knight trade blows, but it is Karma that comes out victorious. His blade slides past the knight's shoulder, distracting him enough to give Karma the opening he needs. Karma reaches back with his free hand to knock the knight out with a blow to the head. It may just be my imagination, but for a few moments I think I see the knight's blade glimmer across the surface of Karma's hand before he falls. The knight holding me holds up his hands in surrender. I yield, sir! It seems no matter how the situation turns out... What? It seems no matter how the situation turns out, you are dishonorable. But please, sir. Karma knocks him out and stands beside me as he sheathes his sword. Karma, It was stupid of you to leave the tavern! A few moments, Sophie. Karma spends some time forcing a potion from a vial down each of the knights' throats. I watch him quietly, fearing that he might have killed them, but the knights only seem asleep. A potion that Parfait gave me. It will make the men forget they ever saw you. When Karma stands again, I notice the glimmer of blood on his hand and stare. Oh, he's bleeding. You're hurt. 'Tis a flesh wound. I'm sorry. Come on, Princess, let's go back. Duh! He pulls me right out into the main street and does not let go of my hand. I cannot bring myself to speak. Karma has saved me twice now. No, he has now saved you 3 times. Remember, he saved us back in, like, the beginning. Not only that, but this time he's injured. He says it's nothing, but his bloodied hand does not move at all. No. Why do I have to be so stubborn and insist I can handle myself? I do not speak for a long time. Eventually I notice people start to stare. Though before long, the staring grows worse. Young women begin following us, giggling from behind. I turn to Karma, who looks like he hasn't slept in days. Oh no, we're gathering a gaggle of women, aren't we? Crap. Karma? Sorry, Princess, but I'm not in the mood to talk. Those girls are walking right behind us. This is... his curse? Karma. Sophie, I just said I'm in no mood to talk. Did you not hear me? We're being followed. Duh! He stares behind us, almost stupidly, and then laughs hollowly as the girls see his face. They start to rush toward us, their voices rising and blending together into a horrendous cacophony. Oh dear. Karma's not moving, though. He looks resigned. Maybe he's too tired to realize what he wants to do. What? I tighten my grip on Karma's hand and pull him away, my pace quickening to a run as the girls chase after us, screaming at me angrily for taking Karma away from them. The fuck? Ah! Sophie, what are you doing? Getting us out of here! Sophie! We lead him through the town into little nooks and crannies where we manage to lose some of the crowd. Karma often led me through these spaces as shortcuts. Waltz knew them too. Once we're alone again, I stop, falling to my knees and letting go of Karma's hand as I catch my breath. That really was a curse, having to run away from so many mindless women. That was... difficult. Sophie? What? I did not mean to snap, but the tiredness is pressing on me, too. You helped me out of that. Of course I did. Why would I want to be chased by girls? You could have left me behind and gone on alone. Instead, you helped me. You helped me, too. I guess I paid you back. Though, to be honest, I wasn't even thinking about repaying him for saving me. I just knew that I didn't want Karma to be stuck trying to fend off all those girls. He was right about his curse. That is terrible. I just realized something. Karma kneels down beside me and waits for me to speak. Why is he kneeling? Oh, right, because I'm on my knees, too, because I'm panting. My curse has people forget me, and yours has even strangers become fascinated with you. It's almost like our curses are opposite of each other, and yet... Yet we seem so similar. My eyes widen when I realize what I just said. Oh, he looks so sad. We are similar, aren't we? He holds out his good hand to me, and I let him lead me back to the tavern, through the abandoned alleyways. My feet are heavy, and all I want to do is sleep, but suddenly Karma is standing before me, his face grave. Is he about to lecture me about leaving the tavern by myself? Because I already have that territory covered, Karma. Oh. Sophie, I have to thank you for helping me earlier. I'm sorry I froze like that and made it more difficult for you. It was so sudden, and I was so tired and had no motivation to move. Shouldn't I be thanking you? I'll accept your thanks, even though I wish you didn't have to thank me in the first place. You should not have gone out on your own when you knew how dangerous it could be for you. That's what I said. I'm sorry. I'll accept your apology, too, because I lost sleep over this. Dots. I have no words for how I feel right now. Princess. Oh, That's so cute. Karma reaches for my hand again, and this time he holds it up and kisses the back of it. Aww. Aww. This is adorable. Okay. All of a sudden, my tiredness falls away. It's like magic. It's probably more endorphins. You really are a handful. Literally! Okay. But a delightful handful. Oh, I'm going to bandage this hand, and then rest. We'll speak later about all of this, okay? But the blood... The bleeding stopped on its own, Sophie. But it does need to be treated. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Are you sure? As sure as I can be. I don't lie. Not even for the sake of being a pretty lady. I can't read. Just don't lie to me, Karma. Karma lets my hand go as soon as we enter the marchen and then bows politely to me before heading back to his room. I watch him go, my mind whirling. Does he usually kiss women's hands? Dots. No, I don't think so. Chapter 6. Matchmaking. You really are a handful. We're having a flashback. But a delightful handful. His words keep repeating in my head. I can't stop hearing his voice and feeling his lips on my hand. Aww. My face feels warm, and every time I think about his words, my heartbeat feels unsteady. Aww. I really have to stop thinking about that. Karma is karma, and he puts on that overly polite act with everyone. Pretty sure I've never seen him do something like that with another person. Dots. I'll just go downstairs and stop thinking about all of this. I need to tell Parfait and Delora what happened. Because at the time I'd returned to the marchen yesterday, I never spoke to anyone about what happened. Maybe someone's downstairs. Someone usually is. I leave my room and make my way downstairs to the reception. It's quiet when I enter, but not as silent as I thought it would be. Karma's sitting at one of the tables, speaking quietly with Parfait and Delora. His injured hand is sitting on the table, bandaged. Cannot help but stare at it, my heart plummeting. This injury is my fault. So, you have yet to hear the entire story? No, I'm afraid I'm not quite privy to the information Waltz has. Is that correct? Waltz has been directly involved in this for far longer than you have. What about Waltz? Bah! Princess, you're up early. They all turn and look at me as I stand at the table. Karma still looks tired, and is not in his dress. He looks somber, but still smiles at me. Sophie, how nice of you to join us. When did he start saying my name without my title? Sophie, you've run into a lot of different mishaps this week, haven't you? I thought you would be stubbornly avoiding work. Instead, you go out of your way to get yourself in trouble. This involves me directly. How would I not be curious? You've also been irresponsible, sneaking out without any of us knowing. I have the freedom to do whatever I want to. I even wore a cloak to... Oh no, the cloak. I left it at the bar. I feel a nudge at my arm, and Karma's holding out my cloak with a tired smile. Oh, you're just... Duh! You went back to get this? When? Yesterday, when you were still in bed. You've been running yourself dry these few days, Karma. It's nothing. It is not nothing! Every time we see you now, we make a note of how tired you look, and you just need to get some sleep, boy. Thank you. What's this? Our ice princess is thanking someone. I've thanked him so many times. Why is that something so strange? Oh, come now, she's not so icy. Sophie's more fire than anything. She's filled with unbridled passion and confidence. Oh, thanks. Confidence that has gotten me nowhere so far. Don't look so dour, Sophie. You've become quite the accomplished woman. Yeah, I'm great at cleaning. Karma gestures toward me and I flush, unsure of what he's talking about. Then, I notice Delora's eyes are on me too. Oh, parfait, do you see that? What are they looking at? I reach down and grab my necklace and then pause. I cannot stop the gasp that leaves my lips. When did this happen? Princess, you didn't realize there was an extra piece to your necklace? Congratulations, Princess Sophie. You're a step closer to breaking your curse. I feel proud. I only ever felt this way around Mother. She did me a great favor yesterday. If not for Sophie, I might have suffocated beneath a pile of very excited women. Oh, no. Wait, helping Karma escape was a good deed? She was selfless. He's not even mentioning the injury he got protecting me. Parfait and Delora are both smiling, but the cheerful mood does not last long. What were you all talking about before I came down? About your kidnapping. Well, kidnappings. Both of them. Looks like we have a serious problem on our hands. You know about this. What does Waltz know that I don't? Princess, it's more about what everyone else knows that you don't. What? What everyone else knows? I feel anger begin to simmer inside of me. Even though he looks apologetic, he says it so casually. What are you all hiding from me? Let's gather everyone later, shall we? I think Waltz might want to be here for this too. What does Waltz have to do with any of it? Be patient, Princess. You've already waited this long. What's another few hours? I have no choice but to agree when Parfait and Delora refuse to say any more, but I'm not happy about it. I spend the rest of my time doing idle chores around the tavern, do a round of sweeping with Mr. Broom, and mindlessly organize some of the bottles. I cannot believe everyone knows something about me that I don't. But now, I'll find out the entire story. Maybe it'll answer some of the questions I have. Why are they still keeping things about me a secret to begin with? Delora gathers everyone in the tavern to discuss the kidnappings. I decide to sit in between Waltz and Karma. So we have a story to tell. Story time, huh? I don't suppose this would be a romance, would it? How can you stand to make comments like that constantly? How can you stand to live a lie? Shut up, Rumple! Shut up! Shut up! Yet, douche. The two glare at each other across the table, but Delora silences them. Delora starts with the story about the Great War, one that I've already heard so many times I can recite it myself. What does any of this have to do with me? Because of the fairy tales, witches like myself are punished for simply existing. Our leader, the Tenebrarum Bearer, was a kind witch that was overtaken by the grief that our people suffered. She was driven so far into madness that she created the fairy tale curse to punish humans and make them suffer, as the witches had. And when that wasn't enough, she committed the ultimate taboo. She killed a human. I tried to stop her, but by the time I thought to act, it was too late. Knowing that Delora and Parfait were involved in the Great War makes it seem more real. But wasn't the Tenebrarum Bearer killed? How can the fairy tale curse continue to spread if she's dead? I believe that the Tenebrarum Bearer sacrificed the last bit of her life to continue powering the Tenebrarum. All to ensure the remaining witches could continue spreading the fairy tale curse. Is none of this ringing a bell for you? What are you talking about? erase your memories. Erase? The witch who died, the Tenebrarum bearer, was your mother, Princess Sophie. Oh. So Mom was a witch. Okay. Ah! What? For some reason, I turned to look at Karma, who's one of the only people who doesn't look away from me. I grew up outside of this kingdom, but even I knew of the terrible witch Hildir. You expect me to believe any of this? Mother was... She wasn't a witch. I would remember that. Well, you would if you had memories of the war, and the years before that. Under Hildir's rule, the palace was a dark place. The king didn't have any real power until Hildir was defeated. That goes for the rest of us, too. We were slaves to her. Dolores' eyes flicker to Waltz. It's the truth. Aww. Waltz knows because he is also a witch. Yeah, there's correlation! He experienced Hildir's command over the witches firsthand as well. Waltz is a witch? I'm sorry for keeping it a secret, Princess. It's not as if I can use much magic anymore anyway. Not when I'm cursed. This is just another secret of many. Seems everyone is hiding something. Everyone was freed after Hildir's reign. Witches, fairies, and humans alike. The king was even able to marry Ophelia, the woman he always truly loved. So, it has always been Ophelia that he truly loved? Was that the reason I never felt any love from him? Because I was my mother's daughter? He gave up on me. No, dear, I don't think he gave up on me! My voice is too loud in the reception area. I feel it crack beneath the pressure, and suddenly I want to cry. But Mother told me so many times not to cry. The king gave up on me. But Mother didn't. Mother would tell me this was all a lie. She would tell me not to trust anyone. They must be lying! I turn to Karma. For some reason, I trust him more than I trust Delora or Parfait. Is this the truth? I was told the story of Hildir and her daughter Sophie. They said you were the picture of elegance, but that you shared your mother's icy nature. But I don't think that's true at all. If Hildir was ice, then you most certainly are a warm fire. If my mother was a witch, then what does that make me? You're a witch as well, whether or not you were ever taught to use magic. On your upcoming birthday, you will become the Tenebrarum bearer. What, is there like an age limit? Do you realize how ridiculous this all sounds? Me? A witch? The king never said anything. Now I can't even ask him if this is the truth because I'm cursed. Ugh, why would you even curse me? We didn't want a repeat of the tragedy, Sophie. I sat on your shelf for almost a year, Princess. There was ice in your heart, and if you had inherited the Tenebrarum in that state, who knows what would have happened? Then why didn't you just tell me any of this? Delora and Parfait look at each other before dropping their gazes to the ground. If we had told you before, would you have even bothered to listen? The king must have tried to do the same thing, and look how that turned out. You shut out everyone who ever tried to tell you about Hildir's true nature. That is probably true. Even now I'm having trouble believing they're telling me the truth. The whole world feels as if it's collapsing around me. I need to escape. I need to go out and be somewhere else, but why are the witches looking for me? You are the heir to the Tenebrarum. No doubt the evil witches want you on their side so they can continue wreaking havoc in Angel with the fairy tale curse. The men that were looking for Sophie were not witches, though. They were knights. Perhaps the witches and the knights are working together? It must be part of Alcaster's scheme to steal the throne. Alcaster has a scheme to steal the throne? What are you talking about? The reason why Garlan and I left the Order of Caldera was because the king did not believe us about Alcaster's coup. How would he know if the princess's identity, though? Anyone who isn't a witch, a fairy, or isn't cursed shouldn't be able to remember her. Fritz! But now we know it's not just the witches looking for the princess, but the knights of the Order of Caldera as well. We definitely have a description of her from someone. Dots. Sophie. Karma reaches out a hand to touch my shoulder, and I flinch back before standing up. I cannot speak about this now. I want to be alone. Let her go. She'll need a lot of time to think. Dots. I leave everyone sitting at the table as I try to process the whirling thoughts in my mind. Hildir, my mother, the only person I ever thought loved me, was the Tenebrarum bearer. A witch. The first witch to kill a human. The witch that started the fairy tale curse. All this time I thought Mother was the only one who cared, but what if she never did? I stay in my room for a long time, trying to process everything I've been told. Days go by before I decide to leave the tavern again to watch Karma practice with the knights. These last few days have felt hollow. Maybe seeing the normal practices will help me feel better. Maybe it'll make things feel like nothing's changed. When I arrive at the forest, however, only Karma is standing in the clearing. He's staring through the trees as if he sees something there, but his expression is solemn, almost sad. Eventually he sighs, shaking his head before turning in my direction. Sophie! Prepare myself for a response, but find that no words come to mind. I haven't spoken to Karma since the talk about Mother and witches, and any of the ease I felt with him before has slipped away. Still, I came here on my own, and I can't just stand here being mute. I say the first thing that comes to mind. Where are Jurien and Garlan? I'll only train with Garlan. Jurien's on patrol duty tonight. He'll be here later. I just came early. Seems you did too. Dots. Sophie, are you okay? I'm sorry I haven't been by to see you. It's not as if you owe that to me. It's not about what you owe! I don't owe it to you, but I truly wanted to. I've just been busy these last few days scouting the town for information. As much as I want you to come with me, why would you ever have wanted to pair up with someone like me anyway? Duh. Why, Princess, it's because I'm bitter and cold, and even though I want to change, all I can think about is myself. But now, I want to change because I don't want to be the same as my mother. Isn't that selfish? Maybe so, but I believe you're being selfish for the right reasons. An entirely selfless person can't survive in this world. Before we make others happy, we have to be happy ourselves. Happy. Right now, I would settle for just, like, not dying on the inside. Ourselves? Yes. An angry person holds resentment toward everyone, and it mars whatever good deeds they seek to do. That's why I can't complete any good deeds. Wrong. You've already got one done. Recognizing the need for change is always a good thing, Sophie. Regardless of the motivation, if you're trying to become a better person, that's what matters. He takes a step towards me and then puts his hand on my shoulders and leans down until I can look right into his eyes, those beautiful emerald eyes. Karma's serious expression startles me as much as his touch. It's never too late for anyone to change. You taught me that. What? How could I have taught Karma anything? Do you mind if I tell you a story, Sophie? He's standing too close. We're gonna save. Thanks. make sure it's doing the... Yeah. No, we're not gonna move. We have, like, flinched away almost every time he's touched us, and I'm pretty sure it's about damn time we decided not to do that. So we're gonna not move. This face so close, all I can do is stare right into his eyes. See? His eyes are beautiful. Stare at them. Karma's hands tighten on my shoulders for a few moments. I feel a slight panic rising in my chest. Then Karma steps away from me with a rough shake of his head. Karma? Next time I do that, Sophie, feel free to push me away. Nah. What? It's better that way. No, it's not! What does he mean by that? You never answered. Will you listen to my story? I stood there and I stared into your eyes, willing you to continue. Is that not enough? Alright. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, lived a crown prince from a kingdom called Brugantia. Duh! Brugantia is one of the neighboring kingdoms. So it's far, far away. Maybe Angel is just really big. So this isn't make-believe? His name was Claude Adric Rinaldi Matthias Almonte. But it abbreviates to Karma. That is a long-ass name. I'm going to try to say it one more time. Claude Adric Rinaldi Matthias Almonte. Yeah. He settled for an acronym as a nickname, at least around the palace where it was acceptable. Claude Adric Karma. Yep, we got it. Prince Claude was a man who flaunted his beauty and talents to all he met. He often used his title to get what he wanted. Prince Claude was a selfish man who thought he was entitled to everything that he had. He was vain and often left his castle unattended so that he could avoid his responsibilities. Then, one day, he chanced upon a beautiful maiden in the town square. He led her around the whole day, being as charming as he possibly could. And then at the end of the day, he asked the woman to be his lover. She agreed, but their time together did not last long. Only weeks later, Prince Claude threw her away as one throws away an object and broke the woman's heart. And she cursed him. That beautiful maiden was a witch, but Prince Claude found out too late. That witch said she would make his beauty, his vanity, a curse. To make even beauty a curse. Ashamed of being cursed, Prince Claude donned a disguise and left his kingdom behind. He's been gone for nearly a year now, and most probably assume he's dead. But in truth, the prince had come to Angel seeking a way to break his curse. He had heard of a young lady named Sophie, who, on her 18th birthday, could dispel any curse. Duh! Karma. Dots. He looks so sad. I don't know how to comfort him. Claude? Duh! Karma. Claude turns a startling red as he stares at me. For a few moments, he doesn't speak. Then he bursts out laughing. I stare at him in shock, not understanding his reaction. I feel myself flush. Isn't that your real name? No, darling, it is. But hearing you say my name, oh, sounds so much softer out of your lips. I rather like it. My cheeks are warm again. How is he always able to make me feel this way? I'll call you by that name if it makes you so happy. And now his name has changed. Oh. Let's make it a secret between the two of us. I'm still Miss Karma here. Besides, I'd rather you kept that name from my ears only. Makes me feel more special that way. You are special. You're special to me. You're special in here. Oh. More special? At that moment, Garlan shows up for practice, and Claude politely excuses himself. I watch the two of them trade blows. Claude favors his other hand, but his blows still come quickly, even with his injury. The more Claude tells me, the more I realize he's like me. A noble cursed for being selfish. How do I help break his curse? Why can't he tell me? As practice is drawing to a close, Claude asks Garlan the usual question. Have you confessed to Jurien yet? Garlan only shakes his head in reply. The two men sheathe their swords. Garlan looks almost sad as he turns to make his way back to the tavern. He likes her, and yet he won't say anything. Why is that frustrating me so much? Garlan. Yes, Princess? Yeah. I am of the opinion that you should tell her. I know it's hard. I know we've already had this conversation before. You gotta, man. You're just killing yourself. Claude told me before that confessing is hard, but what Garlan is going through looks even harder. That's what I was saying. Princess, you know I'm incapable. No, you think you're incapable, but if you never say anything to her, you'll never know. If I say something wrong, I risk losing everything I already have with her. Yeah, and if you say nothing, you risk losing what you could have with her. Holy shit, you just had a realization, and I just got fancy points. Sophie's right. Oh, yay. Maybe you should really tell her, Garlan. But before, Claude was adamant that Garlan shouldn't confess to Jurien. What changed? He wasn't adamant, he was just noting that it's hard. If I mess this up... Let's try looking at it through another lens. Imagine that Jurien is Sophie. How do you think she would like to be confessed to? This is a weird conversation to be having with my boyfriend right there. But okay. I frown at the two men, arms crossed. Excuse me? Well, you and Jurien are very similar. You're both very straightforward. Confess to the princess? I swear to God, if you say confession words and Jurien walks through the forest and witnesses it and thinks that you're actually confessing to me, I am going to slap a bitch. My eyes move to Claude, but only fleetingly, before they're once again on Garlan. You just need to do something simple, Garlan. Something that won't rub her the wrong way. A maiden's heart is ever fragile, and each woman is different. Claude is wearing an amused smile on his face, but he's looking at me, not Garlan. I feel my face flush, and I have to look away. Sophie, you're tomato red again. It's adorable. Thanks. Cross my arms over my rapidly beating heart again and force a scowl on my face. Frowny face. No, I was just thinking about what Garlan should do, or could do. I can read. Promise. Something simple. Oh, this is a thought bubble. Something simple. Like when Karma kissed my hand, I got all fluttery on the inside. Dots. Garlan kissing Jurien's hand is probably not a good idea. Maybe he could do what Claude and I did that one day in town. He could buy her some food and they can just talk. Garlan, have you ever just asked Jurien out for food? Not alone. Jurien's practical and always eats at the tavern. She's also always on duty if she's available. I'll take her patrol shift 2 nights from now, then. Tomorrow, you can ask her out for a meal. You're helping. We can make your invite a grand affair. We can drape banners on the walls, or I could give you a rose. Sweetie, none of that. None of that. We're not going over the top with this. Ah! That sounds like a terrible idea. I am offended. Honey, just because your antics would work on me doesn't mean they're going to work on Jurien. I feel like if I did something like that for Jurien, she'd get embarrassed and punch me. Sounds like another lady that I know. Claude grins at me, but I just roll my eyes. Garlan, just ask her normally. And then when you're out and alone together, you can confess. And we'll make sure you have the time to do it. I'll purposefully come late to practice tomorrow night so that you can ask her out for that date. How does that sound? Do you really think I can do this? I believe in you! You just have to ask the question. Whatever follows will at least be an answer. Tomorrow night, then. Good man. I'm sure it will go swimmingly. Or I could drown. No! We'll get you some floaties. You won't drown, Garlan. Garlan excuses himself with a nervous smile before Claude turns to me expectantly with a mischievous grin. Now, Sophie, we'll come here early tomorrow and spy on them. We need to scope out a good spot. Oh God, why? You're awful. You're incorrigible. Spy on them? Of course. We need to make sure our efforts pay off. I don't think we should. You don't want to see how it plays out? I just don't want to invade their privacy. I mutely shake my head, unable to put my emotions into words. For some reason, I'm imagining myself in Jurien's position. It feels too personal. See? Invasion of privacy! Claude's likeliness suddenly springs to mind. I feel my face grow hot again. Likeliness? What? Maybe they meant likeness. Sophie, you've been oddly out of it today. Claude reaches out a hand toward me, then abruptly pulls away. No! He stares, he smiles at me, almost sheepishly. The conversation between us dies and we return. Okay. Whoa-ba-dabba-dabba-dabba-doo. We're gonna... Oh, we're out. Okay. Boop! We're gonna save. A lot has just happened. A lot of things have happened in a fairly short time span, and I, again, just like last time, need some time to process. Also, this episode has been going almost twice as long as they usually do because things have been happening! So, we are going to let this one go for this time and get back into it tomorrow. Okay. Thank y'all so much for joining me. I will see you all in the next one. Bye.